It gives you a breakdown. You should know that. But it's not like, when I first started out, I'll be honest with you, I sat there and I kind of swore at Art Bell. He was still alive then. I think like the first month I was on, I would do my show, and I'd look. I had 5 people on my server that night. 5. And I started thinking, wow, why would I be wasting my time for 5 people? Yeah. And this went on for about a month. And then all of a sudden, I started looking at every morning, my server, how many people. Now, I'm not talking about apps. I was just talking off my server. And it got up to a couple hundred. And I go, wow, that's improving. And then all of a sudden it started getting up to like 1,000, and then it just kept on going from there. But what got me, honestly,
that's incredible.
But what really got me away from using a company, server, I found out one day that I didn't own the content, the RSS feed.
What does that mean? Why is that?
Well, because I was renting space, right? They supplied me with the RSS feed, all the stuff. They own the feed, not me. I don't know if you knew that. I was really shocked.
No, well.
I was really shocked when I found that out. So, I mean, that was one.
Congratulations. I don't, it's amazing. When you look at what you've done, Gary, what you've done is remarkable. And I know before we went on, you said you're actually trying to not have it grow too fast, but congrats to you. I mean, this is amazing what you've done here. It's amazing. And as I said, I've been listening the last few weeks and going deeper into your shows, going back a while. And
they actually sucked. The older ones, the older shows sucked. I'll be honest with you. I listened to it. Before Art passed, he said, "Hey, you're too laid back." And I said, "Well, I've been out of it for a few years." He goes, "No, be aggressive." And then, after he passed, I realized, what? Yeah, I'm going to change how I do it. But, I'm sneaky. When I interview people, I really care about what they say. But again, I know how to interview them and get things out of them that a lot of, hosts can't seem to do.
Yeah, well, you're respectful. You're a respectful host. You do listen. You have your thoughts, your opinions. You're not jumping down anybody's throat. You're a good host. You're a very good radio host.
But I will say this right now: I ain't having problems with another show that because there's a circuit, for guests in the paranormal, like on UFOs and Bigfoot and black-eyed children and stuff like that. It's been coming to my attention that. This other show is telling people if they come on my show, they're not welcome on their show anymore. And I don't know if you've ran across that, but I was in total shock here when I found that out Friday.
I know that happens on things like, late night network shows sometimes will do that kind of stuff. Carson used to do that, and I don't know if it's still going on as much now. Morning shows sometimes will do that. Go on that one, you can't be on this one. I didn't realize internet radio. I mean, really? I mean, that seems so petty. It's like just compete. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. It's funny when you start getting a little bit of certain listenership, and other shows start taking notice of it. Then I don't care about certain other shows. Okay, they're doing their own thing. Okay, like Coast to Coast or any of those other shows. They're doing their own thing, and I'm happy for them. I'm just doing my own thing. But that's one thing it really frustrates me. You know what? How would you take it if I sat there and told you, hey, if you're going to be on such and such show, then you're never going to be on my show? I mean, that's what's going on. And that's what I'm going through right now. And, it's frustrating.
Is it that big a difference? I mean, how much impact can that show have on your show?
Honestly, I don't really know. I don't really listen to that other show to find out. But to get top... I
mean, are they bigger than you? Are they bigger, smaller? What do you...
I don't... It's really hard to find out. I mean, I would... Let's say on this one particular lady's show, I would say it's probably a little bit bigger than mine. But like I said, I've had a couple of her major guests that she brings on all the time on her show. They come on my show. And now, all of a sudden... I got it in writing, so I'm going to be giving it to my attorney here who actually is joined. I don't know if you know it. I added 2 weekend hosts for our show. We're on now 7 days a week.
Right.
Okay, and one of them is the paranormal attorney. He's into UFOs, Bigfoot, you name it. Then I got Kevin on Saturday and Sundays. The show is growing, and the audience is growing. But, that's the difference between a live broadcast, I guess, than a podcast. Because, you don't have quite I think, the threats that you do when you're trying to compete, same time frames roughly, as some other shows.
Yeah. Well, I don't know legally what you can do. I'm not an attorney and I don't play one on TV, but, if somebody says, okay, I'm only going to go on that show, it's kind of maybe a free will kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know. What can you do? And if somebody runs, I guess you could do the same thing. You could say, no, if you go on that show, you can't be on mine. You could do that.
I wouldn't do that. It'd be
self-defeating to me, but
I wouldn't do that. That's not right.
Yeah, I agree. Just compete in the marketplace, and that's what you're doing. So
how many?
Seems piddly to me too. Seems very piddly.
Yeah. Well, it's frustrating though. We're growing really fast. I got a station that's picking us up here in the next couple weeks. I got a couple other radio stations that might be coming on board. Depending on how things go. I don't want to. I was offered here, 3 months ago, to syndicate the show on a lot of stations. I had the contract in my hand. And, something told me, no, I don't want to do that because they...
What do you think that was?
I think one thing is I had to give up. When I do take calls and I pick my own guest, I wouldn't be able to pick my own guest. I couldn't screen my own calls. I had to, conform to, their policies, how to run the show.
You don't think they'd get you the same guess?
Maybe not.
You would have input, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have input.
It actually said that in writing. It actually said that you.
I sat there and and talked to the vice president of the network, and he told me when they wanted to bring me aboard that I would not be able to screen my own calls. They would take all the calls and route them to me. That he also said that they would be picking the guest for the show. And as soon as they said that, I sat there and told my wife, because I had the contract in hand, and it was a large amount of money a year. And I just said to myself, I can't do this. I just can't do that. It's not what I wanted to do.
Well, you would think that that's still negotiable to me. That still sounds like it's negotiable.
Well, it wasn't. So it wasn't.
It just wasn't.
It just wasn't. I'm sure you had some of those things where it just wasn't. So, and I don't want to go into it anymore, but I'm happy. Okay. I'm happy the way the show is. And now going back to you, how many listeners do you get on your podcast a month on each episode as average?
Well, we're looking at our total. I think around 15,000 downloads is what we're looking at here. This is a brand new show, the Touched by Heaven show. And it's growing faster than the initial Blind Faith live show. So I'm happy. And once again, what's really been fascinating about it to me is is how the paranormal has intersected with the faith. And as the listener this past week's episode said, well, I was a faith person before I was a paranormal person. But it's still these mysteries of life. And whether it comes from faith or it comes from UFOs or whatever it is, and there could even be an intersection down the road between the two. Have you ever had anybody guesting on the show talking about anybody arriving on this planet on a UFO or people coming back that used to be here and stuff like that?
I've had guests like that. I got one like that next week. It's going to be on the show talking about the Sphinx going to the pyramids and all that stuff, how they were done by aliens, and how God is not God what we think God is, that God is an alien, and that's what he's going to be talking about. Well,
I think you're going to be hearing more about that kind of thing in the future. I do. And can anyone argue with the fact that the technology of the time of the pyramids and all that it wasn't there to make those things the way somebody was helping? Somebody was seriously helping somewhere along the way back then.
Well, what's interesting, one of my listeners sent me a whole bunch of data about the Sphinx that, they've done some testing on the backside of it, and they said that it was underwater. It wasn't the wear marks on it. It was not from sand. It was from water. And they figured it was under the ocean at one point. And if that case, that puts it back before mankind.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, you see some of these grounds too. I can't remember where the site was, where obviously when you look at how everything was formed, it was meant to be seen from the air, not from the ground. I mean, you see, there are so many signs that there have been some somebody's have been around here from elsewhere.
I honestly feel that we've been rebooted once or twice, or who knows. I mean, I really think that the Earth was wiped through and cleaned and restarted.
Beyond the Noah stuff, you mean?
Yes. I think before that. I think we're on the second or maybe the third cycle. But
what makes you think that?
Just again, from going from the Sphinx, going to the pyramids, going to just various things. I and the Earth cycles and how, Earth changes and everything else. I think we're very close to going through a cycle right now where we're going to have a cleansing of the Earth.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. The Dr. Nami I was talking about, and he has some pretty powerful encounters. I mean, anybody who prays and gets the results that he gets, he's connected. He's very much connected. And his latest message is that Jesus saying, it's not just I'm coming soon, I'm coming very soon. And Dr. Nami on the Blind Faith Live episodes talked about how there's going to be this upcoming mini rapture, shall we call it, when Jesus comes for the kind of the best of the best. St. Paul said, "We'll be, how."
I'm sorry about that.
Anderson. So there, take that.
Yeah.
Was that on top of the hour ID or something?
No, we're actually out of time.
No, okay, well, okay.
Okay, boy, the 3 hours just went by really fast.
It was awesome, Gary. Thank you so much for the time. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, why
so,
again?
Let
everybody know about your how they can see your podcast again,
you betcha. Just go to touchedbyheaven.net. I would love to contact with you, and if you have a kind of a heavenly moment, heavenly message, angels, whatever it happens to be, divine intervention, let me know at touchedbyheaven.net. I appreciate it.
Okay, sir. Hey, it's been really nice and interesting and refreshing to actually have you on the show.
Thank you, Gary. It was awesome.
You take care.
You too.
Well, everybody, I want to thank you for listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio. Don't forget, this Saturday and Sunday, we have Michael, the paranormal lawyer, will be on Sunday from 7 to 8. Then Kevin will be on from 8 to 10, both on Saturday and Sunday. Everybody have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Check out Night Dreams' website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com.